Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Weimiller, and I am coming at you with your January 2023 insights and astro forecast for each sign. So crazy, we are already through 2022. We are starting a new year. So let me start by saying Happy New Year. I think 2023 is going to be a little less chaotic. Not much, but a little less chaotic. I think there's some good stuff happening. I think we're going to see some good things going on. So stay tuned as we go throughout the year. If you haven't already, sign up for my free monthly newsletter below this video because it is the best way to get the most information. I do not put everything in the videos, and I do not put everything on my website. So you have to sign up to get that information on my newsletter. The other thing is, if you don't already, follow, we're going to go this way. I think it's on this side. Like and follow these videos so you get more, or like and follow me on my channel at Mind Soul Journey, both on YouTube, Vimeo, Instagram at Mind Soul Journey, Facebook at Mind Soul Journey, all of them. So go do that so you don't miss anything. You don't miss any key transits. For example, December 29th, Mercury turned retrograde. It had been in its shadow when we started to see all these storms and travel issues around the holidays. But for right now, Mercury is retrograde. Mars is still retrograde. Both of those are going to go direct in January. Mars is going to go direct on January 12th, and Mercury is going to follow right quickly behind it on January 18th. So what this is saying, the start of the year is going to be a little slower. So if you're one of those people that's like, I make New Year's resolutions, I stick to them, give yourself some grace. It is going to be more delays. It's going to be a little harder to get that energy going to really start those resolutions that you've started. So I would actually recommend just kind of like relaxing the first couple weeks of the year and resetting and taking that downtime. And that's what retrogrades are really all about. They're about reflection. They're about resetting. They're about, they can be a really great time to finish projects. So don't be scared of retrogrades. Yes, stuff can happen there. Mercury can bring travel delays. It can bring communication issues. Mars can bring passive aggressiveness, anger, things like that. But there can be really good things. You can finish projects you've already started. Don't start new projects. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying projects that you've already had in there, finish them, get them done. Really good time to do that. Really good time to review, reassess, all the RE words that you can think of. So do that, know that's coming. I think the other thing that's really important to kind of know in January, at least, is that Saturn is shifting signs in the sidereal system. So I do the sidereal system, which Saturn is leaving Capricorn for this, go around. It won't be back in Capricorn for another about 28 years. So do a little happy dance. I know Saturn in Capricorn has been brutal. It did enter back in January of 2020. So just to give you insight on when Saturn went into Capricorn, we all know what happened after that. But Saturn's moving into a sidereal Aquarius January 17th, 2023. So that week between January 12th and January 18th is going to be busy. We've got two planets going direct. We've got Saturn switching signs. So a lot going on. Sun will also switch on January 14th into sidereal Capricorn, which is going to be a very practical transit. I will say I'm going to do more on, we're going to jump back, I'm jumping around. We're going to do more on Saturn a little more mid-month. So look for that video. I'm going to do Saturn in all 12 signs, what to expect for each ascendant or moon sign. So stay tuned for that. Again, like and follow. Go sign up for my free newsletter because I will do a special newsletter for the Saturn changes because that is something I do. So sign up below. I've given you the link. There's really no reason you can't tell me you don't know where to find it. So the other thing that, Saturn in Aquarius, we've got a sneak preview. I will say we did see a little bit of what that's going to bring for us back in April 29th of 2022 until July 11th of 2022. So think back to that time over it was really late spring, early summer, and think back what happened in your life. That kind of gave you a sense of what Saturn in Aquarius is going to be really like. So again, stay tuned. There's going to be a more in-depth email on that coming out and video. The other kind of things to expect this month, January 6th, we do have a full moon in the lunar mansion of Purnavasu. This lunar mansion is ruled by Jupiter, and this full moon is really going to be about that ability to really bounce back Purvasti is considered the star of renewal. It's really inspirational. It's very good natured. So take this full moon and just be sure that you're really living in the present. This means, again, with all these retrogrades at the same time, release the past, don't overthink the future. I do know that's easier said than done. So I understand that, but really try not to overthink the future, but take the time to really enjoy those little things and those moments that you come together to create wow, let me step back. Those little moments come and create the really big moments, and create big things. As mentioned already, January 14th, the sun is going to transit into sidereal Capricorn. So this is a very practical transit for those that have their natal sun in Capricorn. They can be hard workers, they can be frugal, they can be very responsible and have this ability to really provide good service and support. For this transit, keep in mind that you can find yourself working harder with the sun in Capricorn. It can be a good time to check in on your budget. And for some, coming off the holidays and maybe overspending, it can be a time to be more frugal and really get your finances back in check. January 21st, we are going to have a new moon in sidereal Capricorn, and this is going to occur in the lunar mansion of Uttara Ashada. And this can be a very proud and independent lunar mansion. So kind of be cautious around this time, not to be blind to your own flaws. So we all have them, whether we see them or not, we do have them. So just keep that in mind. Other big moves. January 22nd, Venus is going to transit into sidereal Aquarius. I will say Venus transited into sidereal Capricorn on December 29th. So until then, it's in Capricorn the first part of January. Then January 22nd, it's going to transit into sidereal Aquarius, where it will be conjunct Saturn on that day as well, because Saturn will be very early degrees of Aquarius. So Saturn transiting in a Saturn, Venus transiting in a Saturn ruled sign. We're going to see some influences similar to Saturn wow. We are going to see some similarities to when Venus was in Capricorn, but there can be some slight shifts. So while Venus is transiting in Aquarius, people may find they desire more stability in their love lives. There can be kind of that attraction to mysteries, and be sure if you're beginning to date that, or you're new in a relationship, you don't become overly idealistic. Mercury did turn retrograde at like 0 degrees of sidereal Capricorn. It quickly retrograded back in today to sidereal Sagittarius. And today is, or tomorrow, the 30th, it's transiting back into sidereal Sagittarius on the 30th. Mercury's going to be transiting in sidereal Sagittarius until February 6th of 2023. So it's a really long transit. This shows you what signs Mercury is going to go retrograde in. So it will be retrograde in all the fire signs this year. And this is really a time, people can have more energy and a more positive attitude. There can be a desire for them to stand up for their beliefs. So be aware that there can be this desire for people to argue and prove their point and prove their beliefs and get it to go their way. So just stay really self-aware, know when to pick fights, when not to pick fights, and just know that's a thing, and know fire signs are going to be key this year. Kind of big transits. I want to give you a couple big transits over the next year because we do have a lot of movement. So we already talked about Saturn. There's going to be more details on that. And Saturn transits into Aquarius on January 17th. Jupiter's also going to change signs this year. Jupiter's going to transit into sidereal Aries in April of 2023. And then the other big change will come at the end of the year, November 29th. The nodes of the moon, Rahu and Ketu, are going to switch signs. They're going to switch from Aries and Libra, and they're going to move into Pisces and Virgo. So the nodes of the moon, they are the only planets that move backwards. They're not planets, they're shadows, but they pack a punch in our lives. So keep that in mind. Big transits, stay tuned, sign up for the newsletter because that's where you get all the details if you missed that. And I'll keep you updated on what's going on throughout the year, and we'll see how 2023 unfolds. Now, I know what you're really looking forward to is the sign predictions for each of the 12 signs. Remember, these are broad, high-level predictions. The best way to understand what's going on in your chart is to reach out for a personal consultation. Whether you've never had one with me before, then I make it mandatory that you need to do the birth chart consultation so that we can make sure your chart's working, make sure the time's correct, all of that. And then if you have, absolutely now is the time to sign up for your yearly update and see what is going on over this next year for you. Best way to get insight and the best way to stay on top of things and stay ahead of things. So do that. I've put the link below to book this as well. So all the links you need are right below, and let's just jump right in. Other keys, look below for your ascendant, listen for your ascendant or the sign your moon is in. So if they're different, that's great. You know, you've got an advantage because you have two different things going on. If they're the same, they're even stronger. So keep this in mind, and they will give you a general sense of what to expect in January. So with that being said, Aries, business could change and come from a fresh perspective. It can be positive, so be open and embrace it. You could find your view of situations really changing as new information becomes available, that makes you really rethink your current stance. So keep that eye out, and really that fresh perspective is going to bring that breath of fresh air you didn't realize you were looking for. You're really still in a period where it's important to pay attention to the words coming out of your mouth. You can be very direct with others, but it can come across as and be perceived as being very harsh. So this is going to be even more true with Mercury being retrograde, because remember, at times Mercury retrograde can bring communication issues. Taurus, you can be more courageous. You can find yourself more ambitious and energized to complete unfinished projects. Now is the time to work on bringing them to completion. And you could find others coming to you with new ideas. Really be sure to actively listen to them and don't just dismiss them off the bat. You could find yourself opening up to new ways of thinking that gives you a different perspective, and you can find yourself desiring an adventure. So it can be a good time to maybe plan a quick little weekend adventure for you. Gemini, it can be a time to plan travel for the future, which will give you something to really look forward to. You're really still in a period where it's important to focus on your finances and stick to your budget. So I know those are contradictions where I'm like, hey, it can be a good time to plan travel, but plan that travel within your budget. Don't, if your budget says you can't go to the Maldives, don't go to the Maldives. Find another gorgeous beach somewhere. There's tons in the world. But tempting as it may be to splurge, please don't. You'll thank me later. But it can be a harder month for you for relationships and partnerships. There could be more tension or disappointments. Really take the time to discuss, but be sure you both really are on the same page, as Mercury retrograde could make those communications give more misunderstanding in communication. Cancer, you could find yourself traveling for work. There'll be a need for you to ensure clear communication is the main component to interactions with others this month. So really making sure you're interacting. Don't go stick yourself in a back room and talk to nobody and do your own thing. You're gonna have to interact with others, whether it's coworkers, partners, friends. Just interactions will be key. Really ensure the message is understood and clear for all involved. This is especially true. The theme is with Mercury being retrograde, a period where communication in general can result in more misunderstandings. It can be a good month to give and receive love. And be sure you do things from a place of love and kindness. You are in a period where opportunities will present themselves. So be sure to stay in the present and keep your eyes and ears open, and see what comes your way. Leo, you can find yourself more creative and inspired. You're in a period that really wants you to take action. So be sure you are showing up fully. You're going to find that work is easier and more fun this month. This can be a time where a project needs a different perspective. Look at it from different angles, look and get different opinions. It's also really important this month to be sure you're really making the healthy food choices and steer clear of those added sugars or anything that's high in sugar, which you're likely to be drawn to this month. So it's going to be even more of a challenge for you. You really could find yourself being comforted by being around pets as well, if you have them. If you don't, you may find yourself wanting a pet, but remember, think about budget, think about pros and cons, and remember it's a really long commitment. Virgo, spending time with family and friends let me step back. Virgo, spending time with family and friends who have become family will really bring that feeling of warmth and happiness for you, and, friends in general, if they're really good friends. But you're still in a lucky period, as well as a period where focusing on your spiritual practice is beneficial to you. Don't just take the time, but make the time to really focus on your spiritual growth. You can find yourself inspired to be more creative or artistic this month. And this can be really even just getting out a coloring book and letting yourself enjoy and let your artistic side out that way. It doesn't have to be like, hey, I'm going to paint my house or paint a mural. It can be little things. If you are single, it could be a time when you begin a new romance as well, Virgo. Libra, you could have a desire to have, to add more color to, or to change some decorations around your home. You can feel overwhelmed by all that needs to get done this month. Take a minute and breathe. Go ahead, write that list, get it all down on paper, get it out of your head. The worst place for a list to be is in your head. It will relieve your mind to get it on paper and keep you less stressed because you're not sitting there going through your list all the time up there. The other thing is just focus on getting each item completed. Just pick one, start there, get it done. Pick one, start one, get it done. You really will be amazed at how quickly you begin to make progress. Scorpio, over the next month, it's really going to be important to check in on your budget and stick to it. If you have strayed over the last couple of weeks, it can be a good time to reassess, get back on track, and even make adjustments as needed. This can be a month to let your creative side out, really find a new hobby or get out to see a movie, concert, the theater, or even an art museum. So get creative, get out there, do fun stuff. As long as it sticks in your budget, that's the great part. If the museum is free, that's awesome. Finding things that you can do for free if your budget's tight is the best way to do it. Scorpio, you are still in a period where you could get into arguments with your partner, so pick your battles wisely and practice patience. Sagittarius, you're going to find your ability to communicate is stronger this month. It can be a good time to expand your knowledge and learn new skills. Life can take on that real feeling of adventure and fun, so make sure you get out and enjoy it. You may feel a bit of luck this month, so be sure you're clear on what you're manifesting this month, because what you think about, you're going to manifest. This is critical. So if you think about the negative, you're going to bring negative. If you think about the positive, you're going to bring more positive. You are still in a period of focusing on health and healing, and really invest in yourself and your health during this time. And that can be even investing the time, so getting out and exercising or making healthy food. It could be investing money by getting a gym membership, but remember, this first part of the month with the retrogrades is going to be a little slower and harder to get into routine. Capricorn, it is a time where past memories could surface. Allow them to and process them fully, as this is the time to really learn and release the energy for good from those past memories. This is really going to allow you to make room for new energy, because all that old energy keeps us from letting new into our lives. You could find yourself dreaming of foreign travel, and this can be a really great time to begin planning a trip. So you could find yourself desiring to get out to concerts, galleries, museums, and theater. Get out, enjoy, and see what is out there. Aquarius, you can find yourself spending more time with friends over the next month. It can be a time of fun-filled events and connections. You will find yourself more optimistic. You can find yourself content with life. You have the ability to really manifest good things in your life, so keep your thoughts positive. You are in a period where you could find yourself with excess energy to burn, so focus that excess energy on those goals you want to move forward on, and you could burn some of that energy through exercise too. So keep that in mind. Pisces, meetings at work will keep you on your toes. Be adaptable and open to new ideas. You're really still in a period where it's good to let your creative talent show, whether that be in writing, music, dance, art, athletics, wide range of stuff to let your creative side show. But when people are talking about new ideas at work, or if they really flit through your head, be sure to capture them, write them down, get them down somewhere, as they will become reality in the future. You can also see financial gains from your work due to recent career success, so enjoy that. Friendly reminders, I do use the sidereal system of Vedic astrology, so keep that in mind when you're looking at stuff. And again, links below if you want to book a yearly update, a first-time consultation for your birth chart, all below. You'll see the options. If you want to sign up for my free newsletter, which is how you get all the detailed information, the link is also below to sign up. It's completely free. So you have nothing to lose, and it goes right to your inbox every month. So something to look forward to. Easier links. Otherwise, sign up for, not sign up, follow this channel so you get more insight on videos when they come out. I will say I did not do a Who's in the News this month. For some of those that love Who's in the News, I did not. I ran out of time. I wanted to spend time with my family, my friends, and my Christmas took a detour. So that didn't happen this month. I'll be back at it next month. And if you ever have any suggestions, let me know in the comments who you'd be interested in seeing, or reach out on Instagram @MindSoulJourney and send me a message. because I'm always interested in who people would be interested in the news. So until then, Happy New Year. Welcome to January 2023. I hope it's a wonderful month, and stay tuned. I will see you back here in February. So until then, be safe, have a happy time, and enjoy the start of the year.